Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. And before I tell you what I usually tell you, I want to tell you that today I'm going to talk about something which affects and infects all of us from time to time, and that's called indifference. Indifference. So I want you all to think about what is indifference. I think it's one of the biggest interferers that we have. Interference is one of the biggest interferers we have. Niti, can you send a message to Reddy Garu and all, maybe they tried and they could not join. So according to you guys, what is indifference? So remember, what we've been doing for the last couple of days is we've been looking at how do you thrive instead of just survive. And what we found out yesterday was that because the circumstances are influencing us so much, we cannot thrive. And how do the circumstances influence us? Through our feelings. So circumstances influence our feelings, and our feelings influences our action. They influence our actions. And as you know, circumstances are not influencing you every day to be happy, to be enthusiastic, and to be passionate. So when you keep getting beaten up by the circumstances, mostly, negative feelings, etc., at some point you start suffering from a disease called indifference. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. All right. So let's very quickly introduce to the newcomers what is empowering morning conversation. What is there in the morning conversation? So what do we do here? We come here every morning so that we can have a life that comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Isn't that why you come here? And we want to shift out from the default mode. So what's the default mode? Anybody? Very quickly give the symptoms of the default mode so that whoever is watching us for the first time on YouTube or wherever, they will understand what we mean by the default mode. Quickly, what are the symptoms? How do people recognize that they are in the default mode? See, our target is to get out of the default mode and get into the create mode, right? How would somebody recognize the default mode?
So, being stuck in one situation, not finding way forward, discontent, dissatisfaction, complaining mode, unhappy with self and circumstances.
Right. And the topic that we are going to talk to you about today is the worst kind of situation one can get into, because it is a zone in which you don't even feel anything. It's called indifference, So we'll talk a little bit more about it as we go along. So first is to get out of the default mode. That's why we are here. Second is to dissipate the negativity that we pick up from time to time, mostly from circumstances, which includes other people also. So we come here to become possibility seekers. हम ऐसे लोग बनना चाहते हैं जो हमेशा संभावनाएं देखते हैं, सिर्फ शिकायत या जिंदगी को कोसते नहीं रहते हैं. So we come here to become possibility seekers rather than only complainers. And we come here to increase our focus, our energy, to bring our own attention in our control. So one of the superpowers that we have is something called ध्यान. तो अगर मेरा ध्यान मेरे कब्जे में नहीं है और मेरे काबू में नहीं है, तो मैं क्या करूंगा जिंदगी में? So that's another reason why we are here. So we get our attention or our dhyan in our control. And I have been telling you again and again about that formula, P is equal to small p minus I. Yani, performance. Performance is what? Something which you will do so that you can achieve anything. Small p is what? Potential. पोटेंशियल को हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे? क्षमता. तो आपके अंदर क्षमता है कि आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो. यू गॉट द पोटेंशियल, यू गॉट द नॉलेज, यू गॉट द स्किल्स, यू हैव द पोटेंशियल टू लर्न. If you don't know anything, you have the potential to find out. So God has given us everything that we desire as a persona, as a living being. However, what is stopping us from using that potential? आपको रोकता कौन है? आपके खुद के अंदर जो रुकावटें होती हैं, these are called interferers. These are mental interferers, these are physical interferers, and these are emotional interferers. So how do circumstances control you? Through your emotional interferers. And the worst one of them all does not allow you to thrive, you know. So you're not thriving, you are just surviving. So what is thrive? Thrive is to grow vigorously, to flourish, to gain in wealth or possessions, prosper, to progress. Now, maybe you don't want any of these things, but I say you as a human being, or nature itself is always growing. Where growth is not happening, degeneration is happening, decay is happening. If you're not growing, you are decaying. So when you get into that zone of default mode, then the process of decaying starts, you know. You are thinking, yeah, life is going on as usual, very good, I'm feeling very comfortable, very good. But actually what is happening? Decay is happening. See, when you get into that mode, nature has a way of giving you a nice hit. It will give you in the form of illness. It will give you in the form of indifference. Restlessness will happen. Because your being is telling you, yeah, why are you not doing anything to grow? Why are you stagnating? But we are blocking everything. So in this particular state, which I call as the indifferent state, we are like a person who is not feeling anything. So what is indifference? Let us have the heavy voice radio announcer to read it. Conan, would you read this for us, please, as I put it up on the screen?
Yes, sir, sure. Indifference, the lack of interest or concern.
Right? This is what the dictionary says. And there are synonyms for it. Matlab same meaning ke words, which is?
Aloof, detached, disinterested, incurious.
Yeah, that's the opposite of curious.
Unconcerned.
So you look at these words and you see how many of them you can recognize.
Aloof, detached, disinterested, incurious, unconcerned.
You know, this is exactly the opposite of your childlike state.
Oh.
छोटे बच्चे होते हैं, वो जैसे होते हैं, we are exactly opposite of that. Children are interested in everything. They are not aloof. They are engaged in everything. They are not detached. They are not disinterested. They are very curious. Have you seen how concerned they are? Papa, kya ho gaya? Mommy, what's happening? Why are you like this? And we get irritated with them and we tell them, shut up, chup it. And I promise you, if you get into this state, that is the worst state because you don't even know that something is happening. Have you heard that story about the fog frog in hot water? If you don't know it, who knows the story about the frog in hot water? Put up your hand. We'll ask you to share it if you already know it. Yes, Priya, tell us the story about the. Yeah, you are the right person to say the story. Go ahead. Priya. Oh, Priya, tell us the story.
Haji, yeah, so what happens? So once there's a frog, we kept it in water and slowly start the stove, and slowly we increase the stove. First frog doesn't know what's
The
happening, so
temperature.
he's fine. Yeah, we increase the temperature slowly, really slow, that the frog doesn't come to know. So slowly the temperature keeps on increasing and frog doesn't know, and he starts adjusting to the temperature, and at one point temperature increases so much that frog can't do anything and it dies. Am I right, sir?
That's correct. Otherwise, if you take a frog and put him into boiling water, he will jump out.
It will jump out, huh?
Now, this indifference is the first symptom that you are getting into that state. Comfort zone, as you call it. So life is very interesting. The moment you get into your comfort zone, it'll come and give you such a tight slap, you'll have to get out of your comfort zone. कुछ ना कुछ हादसा हो ही जाएगा. And we get into this zone of indifference for so many different reasons. Na? One guy became indifferent. He was very ill and in hospital, and his elder sister never came to see him. And he became completely indifferent. He said, koi puछता ही नहीं है. Why should I be interested in anything? Nobody cares for me. Nobody even called me. What is the use of being a part of this when nobody cares for me? So they become detached and they become indifferent. So look and see where all we have got this bimari. Kahan humko ye bimari hui hai aur kitni bari hui hai? How many times we've fallen into this disease called indifference? Now it's very difficult to see it when it happens to ourselves. When it happens to others, you can see it. So why don't you all give me some examples of people who became indifferent? आपके जीवन में होंगे कई लोग ऐसे. I know many. You tell them anything, ठीक है. Yes, Vetri.
Sir, one visible example is getting stuck in a job, not knowing that they can grow.
Then you become indifferent, no? When you get stuck in a job like that, you become indifferent, isn't it? And what are the symptoms that are visible when you become indifferent in a job?
You feel you can't grow, and that is somehow no creative thoughts, no motivation.
Yeah, and what is it that will be visible in such a person? See, these things are not visible, what you're saying. They are inside. Symptoms are what can be seen by anybody. See, when a person gets into this state which you are telling, what would you see? What kind of actions will be there? What kind of work will he be doing?
First thing, he won't look happy.
And
he will show all irritation, worries.
Yeah, and what kind of work will he do?
Very, very mediocre.
Exactly. So ultimately what happens, life becomes mediocre and you are just surviving. See, such a fellow will do just enough not to lose his job also. He will do minimum performance so nobody can tell him you are not working. Okay, Shakti, your turn. Go ahead.
Not showing any interest, not taking any responsibility. That's what is coming in my mind, sir.
Yeah, but that's happening in your mind, right? When a person
Yes.
is not taking responsibility and all that, what kind of actions will be visible on the ground? If somebody is watching that person, what will they see? Sometimes people can make out, no? By looking at you, what you are doing.
Dull and uninteresting.
Say that again.
Dull and uninteresting.
Yeah, but what kind of actions will they be doing? If they find something not interesting, what does a person do? You can see it, no? You'll say, yeah, they are not interested in anything. You can make out, no, by looking at the way they behave and all that. है ना, Seena ji?
They won't listen. If you are communicating something, they won't listen.
Yeah,
They will
something
be-
you tell them, they'll say, leave it, I don't want to know.
Yes, they won't
And
listen. They
themselves.
won't be focused.
Right. Are you getting my point, Hasina ji? So when all these things are happening to someone, these are feelings and thoughts, right? So what actions will be visible when a person is in a state of indifference? So what you said is correct.
He
But,
he is in his own world.
exactly. So what kind of behavior is a person like that going to have, living in his own world?
So the person would basically be non-involved
Ah,
in any activity, would not get involved in a discussion or in any responsibility sharing or in any other way.
right. Attitude would be leave me alone. Yes, Kunen.
Yeah, and just to add into that, most of the time, must be not communicating, being more in the silent mode. Also, beneath that, there could be some resentment, some sort of angst, some sort of dissatisfaction.
Yeah, but this is a state beyond dissatisfaction. You know what I mean? It starts off with dissatisfaction and leads to total indifference. Okay, nobody cares, so why do I care? Very good point.
So
See,
this,
you should be able to recognize when this is happening to people. So what Kunan said is they'll go out of communication. They'll not talk only. They will not participate. So when somebody gets out of communication with you, you should be immediately watchful. Okay, what's happening? That's the first sign of a person getting disengaged in life.
Sir, Ashok here.
Yes, sir. Good morning
The
to you.
first, good morning. The first sign will be he will start looking into his mobile and watching or typing something, which tells us that he is not interested in what is happening.
Yeah, that is the first symptom of disengagement.
Yes.
All right, somebody else? See, just see, because you need to recognize it. At least you should be able to recognize it when it happens to others. How would you recognize it if it's happening to you?
Might be checking the time.
Okay. And when it happens to you, yes, Priya?
When this happens to me, I go in my shell. I won't talk to people. I'll just sit silent or sleep for long hours, or just don't want it to be disturbed by anyone. Would
Exactly.
not like to attend any of the empowering programs. Like नहीं attend करना, जाओ मैं और सोऊंगी.
हाँ,
मैं और ये करूंगी. I'll do all the things.
आजकल हो रहा है ना तुम्हारे साथ ऐसा?
हाँ, but I'm attending the sessions. मतलब अभी वो वाली स्टेज पे नहीं है जहाँ पे I'm dead. Like थोड़ा सा उससे पहले वाली क्राइसिस से पहले वाली स्टेज पे हूँ मैं.
पानी उबलना शुरू नहीं हुआ ना?
हाँ, गर्म हो रहा है. So हाँ, lot of things happen.
Yeah, so you very beautifully described it. I mean, who can describe it better than you? See, it happened to you in your job also, no? You became indifferent after some time.
Yes. Yeah, I started with enthusiasm there, and then it's like no one cares. कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ रहा उनको what difference I'm making, so I'm not gonna do anything. But
Yeah.
whatever I did with complete passion. जितना भी मैंने करा, that was there, but not more than that.
Because Abhinav, you know, I remember when he joined EMC first, he was in that state and he came out of it. You remember, Abhinav?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Abhinav se पूछ रहा हूँ. Do you remember? Achha, by the way, one request to everybody. It's a protocol. Let us follow. When you raise your hand, and when I ask you to speak, when you start speaking, lower your hand. Otherwise, I have to all the time keep lowering your hand. Okay, go ahead, Kunen.
Yes, so this, I was just reflecting upon my
You can lower your hand now.
time to time, yes, sir. Time to time, I go into this indifference, but there must be some threshold of this. Like it doesn't happen suddenly. Like one must be definitely having the patience, and then after a certain time, one maybe I lose the patience, and then I go into that state. So
You know, the problem with this indifference is it creeps in very slowly. कभी पता भी नहीं लगता है कि कब हो गया. You don't even realize that it's happening to you. Sometimes it happens abruptly, झटके से हो जाता है. That is usually due to some incident or something. But by and large, the more dangerous one is the one which happens insidiously. You understand? Insidious, like, you know, it's kind of sneakily happening. You don't even know it's happening.
but if I'm aware all the time and have faith and believe on self and universe, then I can protect myself with this attitude or this state.
You can, the moment you realize you are getting into that state, we have given you one magic formula. It's called power of generation.
Yes.
See, because what is happening is loss of passion, loss of interest, lack. First thing, it starts with loss of enthusiasm. मुझसे पूछो, the more old you get, the more you get into that state. I've done everything, I've seen everything, I've heard everything again. That's why it happens to a lot of older people, you know, they get totally disinterested. They become like vegetable. Now, we are not like that. Venkatesh and I and Reddy Garu and all, we are not like that. We are very much interested in everything. I love to see Venkatesh ka, you know, oh, he went and saw Drishyam today. Wow, I will also go and see it. So he's not only engaging himself, he's inspiring others also. Some people become like that. They realize. I was reading a study by a doctor who was talking about why elderly people, they die. You know, some of them die very quickly. So he said that those who start disengaging with life, you know, when they are not engaging with life, they are not being with people, they are not taking interest in anything, then very soon they start getting ill and they pass away. That's nature. They say, okay, if you're not interested in living, go, na. So you have to tell nature also, oh, I am interested, Baba, there's so much to do. जोश पैदा करो. So Gunen साहब, हमारे पास तो हथियार है.
तो क्यों ना हो जाए सर?
समझिए ना?
जी, तो क्यों ना उस हथियार का इस्तेमाल कर लिया जाए अभी?
हम सुबह आपका इंतजार करते करते इस्तेमाल कर भी रहे थे, दोबारा कर लेते. Okay, so when I say 1, 2, 3, we will all laugh without any sound. Okay, 100%. 1, 2, 3, go.
Come on, guys, come on. Yes, this is the most
Okay.
powerful. Yes, yes. You can do it. Yes. Pump up भी करेंगे साथ में उसके साथ. Pump up. Yes.
It's so simple, you know, but हम लोग ना, we are so bloody stupid. We think anything great should be very complicated, you know. Listen, when you get into this mode, sometimes you're not even able to do power of generation. वो भी नहीं होता हमसे. तो क्या करें? You remember that exercise where you look at 50 different objects? Now I found out another more simple one. You know, sometimes you are so stuck, you cannot even do this laughter exercise. Correct? Well, that's the problem with indifference. So you do this particular breathing exercise, it works very well. So let your shoulders loose, let your hands hang loose on your side, and you will exhale as you put your head down. Okay. And as you breathe in, you will raise your head. So if you do this 5 times, so yesterday when I closed the session, I requested all of you that once every hour you will do this power of generation. Did you do that? How many of you did that? How many of you did it at least once after the meeting was over? नहीं किया ना?
कल तो मैं था ही नहीं. Ha, बच गया. Sorry, sir, I missed yesterday.
ये कोई इम्तिहान नहीं है भैया.
Just kidding.
Yeah, Ashok ji did it. How many times did you do it, Ashok ji?
5 times.
How many?
5 times in the day.
Wow. You get the gold medal.
And that's why I put that book also, Narendra Modi's book,
Yeah,
addressed to students.
On the group you had put it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. I'm telling you for a reason. आप करके देखो 3 दिन. Only for 3 days. Every 1 hour. Do this exercise.
Sure.
लोगों के सामने नहीं करनी है तो बाथरूम में छुप के कर लो. Do it one.
That's what I don't want to do. I can go to the gallery, let the people see, but not the people in the house.
पागल हो गया.
बुड्ढा सटक गया, बोलते सटक गया.
ठीक है, कोई पत्थर, कोई एप्पल, कोई बनाना वगैरह भी मिल जाएंगे क्या? That's okay.
So, so remember, what we are doing here is always trying to remove the interferers which are not allowing us to live a life of ease, joy, and glory. When we were younger, there used to be an ad from a cigarette company. It was called Live Life King Size. Do you remember that, Rama? Reddy Garu will remember because Venkatesh will also remember that. Remember? The Wills cigarette ad used to come. Live life king size. If you want to live your life king size.
It is there. Still, it was there on their some company product like they came to apparels or something and they got it. Built this.
You want to live your life king size, you should better have a good queen also along with you. But even if you don't have, you can still live your life king size. That is why we are taking care of all our interferers, Venkatesh Babu will remember a nice song I used to listen to when I was about 25 years old. Song was, Rote hue aate hain sab, hasta hua main jaunga. Everybody comes crying into this world, I will go laughing. Remember that one?
तो मुकद्दर का सिकंदर का गाना है.
मुकद्दर का सिकंदर.
हम सब अपने मुकद्दर के सिकंदर हैं, unless you get into stage of indifference in your life.
सही बात.
But देखो बस, without doing anything, nothing is going to happen, okay? Now, one simple exercise which would make you feel so good. Only 1% did it. Interesting. Rest of us are in indifferent state. Mr. Milway, you keep saying whatever, we are coming for 1 hour, listening, going bye-bye, then back to our default mode. Don't ask us to do anything. If I tell you scratch your nose 10 times a day, you'll probably not do that also. It's a sign of indifference. But certainly you can look at all the WhatsApp groups and all that. Yeah. And there also you'll be looking at more interesting pictures and all that, you know. Hello, good morning, tang tang, wake up, smell the coffee, or smell the yogurt, whatever you want. I'm smelling the yogurt right now. All right, so let's listen to some of you and what's opening up. और जैसे अभिनव बोलेगा आई एम गेटिंग प्रेजेंट टू, कोई और अल्फाज यूज करो, मुझे इस बात का एहसास हो रहा है. यस वेट्री सर, वी आर हियरिंग यू आफ्टर सो लॉन्ग, प्लीज से समथिंग.
Thank you very much, sir. One insight I'm getting is, though we say word indifference, but actually the actual impact of this indifference is the louder negative self-talk, inside voice. It is too negative, too loud. That's why we become indifferent outside. So that's something I'm just getting it.
You're giving the reason why we become indifferent. That's true.
Yes.
What you're saying. Anything else? Where all are you seeing that indifference creeping in? That's what we have to. When you see it happening to others, see, we are people who can inspire others, no? So if you see anybody becoming indifferent, what are we doing here every day? We come here to make sure we don't become indifferent, no? And we are helping each other. You are always helping others. You've told me one or two examples how somebody was becoming indifferent and demotivated, and you inspired him. So we can do for others. Sometimes we are so busy doing for others, we don't know it's happening to us also. So recognize it. Make some friends who will not let you get into that one. Okay? And we are your friends here. See? Look at our friends. How nice we are. Thank you. Yes, Abhinav. इतने गंभीर लग रहे हैं.
हाँ. Actually, when you asked about interference, now some there were people in the room, so I didn't want to share about it, but now I can share. I lost 2 people in my life because of interference. One I shared with you was my mama ji, who just left one day office and never came back, like 10, 12 years now. Indifferent. So it was not indifferent. I don't know what he was going through. It was actually now indifference on my side. Someone I love, and then I got so busy that I never had time to speak to him, and like kya hal chal hai type, how are you? And he used to live in Ghaziabad. It's so close to Noida. So and of course all the distinction are for myself, not to make others wrong. Generally, in my old days I used to make others wrong, but with all the distinction ki wo dekho kitna indifferent hai, rather looking at main kitna indifferent hu. And second was a very close friend of mine who used to live in Meerut, and he I think during the lockdown he committed suicide, and he was like 100 crores rich guy. So it's not ki indifference is for the poor and ordinary struggling people, but it can happen. And the sign was that he stopped slowly stopped commenting on the Facebook group. And वो जो sign था वो समझ में नहीं आया, and then I was again very busy with my life. कि मेरे खुद की इतनी problems हैं, तो I don't have time for others. Let me solve my problem first.
If you look at the screen just now.
Yeah.
So all the things that will be present when somebody is in a state of indifference. तो आप देखें आपके मामा जी जो थे.
जी.
उनका जिंदगी से इंटरेस्ट खत्म हो गया.
Correct.
And maybe same thing happened to your friend who committed suicide.
Yeah.
है ना? So he was singing that song when he died, तेरे बिना भी क्या जीना.
Exactly.
जिंदगी में इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है तो क्या जीना.
Exactly.
Thanks for sharing that. And especially, do you remember when you joined us in EMC, you were in that state?
Exactly. And I go into that state once in a while again.
Yeah. तो आपको तो वो गाना गाना चाहिए, लाखों हैं यहाँ दिल वाले मगर प्यार नहीं मिलता.
बिल्कुल.
आंखों में तेरी वफा का इकरार नहीं मिलता.
हाँ.
Yes,
उस
sir.
समय और उस समय ये मैं भूल जाता हूँ, मेरे कंट्रोल में है लोगों को प्यार देना। वो तो मैं दे ही सकता हूँ।
Bilkul, sir. Very, 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 very definitely. Okay, Ashok ji and then Kunen ji in that order.
Okay. I want to share the other experience. On 17th March 2020, when we had a singing session in our senior citizens group. Senior citizens group, Hasina also is from there, and another lady also is from there. I forgot her name. And I came to know you because you had given one of the sessions in Pune's Dignity Foundation Senior Citizens. That is how I came to this group. But on 17th March, we had a singing session in our senior citizens group. And 20th March, lockdown was announced. We all senior citizens, the oldest one is 92, youngest one will be 65 or something. We began with Antakshari. We started talking to each other, more than 50. You are also in the group. And we continued every day 2 hours singing on WhatsApp, which was a unique thing. And every 50 sessions, we used to call some personality to be chief guest, like Padmaja Fenani or Anup Jalota or other singing stars. And each one has been very not only protective, but encouraging. And I can share with you, at least 10 or 15 of the senior citizens who would have otherwise given away and succumbed to COVID, they bounce back and they are with us. And we are, of course, we are not at 583, but we are at 450 singing sessions. So it is exactly the reverse. We did not allow anybody to go into that shell.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's exactly what we are here for also, right?
And myself and another one, Prakash Aute, we are not singers. I don't understand anything about singing. He also doesn't understand. But we are supporting them from outside. And we have come up to this level now. It is exactly the reverse of ignoring.
Indifference. It's the opposite of indifference. You are not letting the
Yes.
indifference come inside.
And you are seeing this in Nana Palkar happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow morning at 9:30.
Tomorrow morning. Sure.
Great. So, Kunen, thank you, Ashok ji. That's a very good, very inspiring. And I think others can take the lead and say, na, किसी की मुस्कुराहटों से वो गाना याद है किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार किसी के वास्ते वो दिल में प्यार जीना इसी का नाम है राइट कुनैन आप कुछ फरमाना चाहते हैं
जी जनाब मैं ये अर्ज कर रहा था मोहतरम के I was just reflecting on this ultimately sir it is coming to the judgment of self and others and then having fixed point of view and no faith and then going into this shell. So, and also there's a word coming to my mind, sir, apathy. Is it similar?
It is the same as indifference.
Same as indifference. Yeah.
In fact, the most extreme form of indifference is apathy.
Oh.
And if you look at the, you remember the chart of consciousness which I had shared with you once, from 0 to 1000. Apathy is at 0.
Oh.
Apathy is as close to death as you can get.
Oh, that's serious.
If you get into apathy, you're finished. That's the first sign कि बस खत्म जिंदगी या तो आप सुसाइड कर लोगे या वैसे ही मर जाओगे बीमार होके
मामला खत्म goodbye bye bye
हाँ
तो बड़ी खतरनाक बात हो गई
हाँ जी बिल्कुल
Thank you, sir.
All right, so this is at a very proper and opportune moment. We are coming to the close of today's session. Please remember to do that exercise once every 1 hour, right? For your own benefit, not mine. Okay? And today you are the only Shire. No, we have got Vetrivel who will give us some, क्या बोलते हैं उसको,
Tirukural.
and then Kunan will give us his.
And sir, another good thing is happening today is that we have also Rama sir on camera. So
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday he comes. Rest of the days are not for us.
we can listen some thoughts.
Yeah, we can listen to some thoughts which he might want to share. You want to say some Tirukural?
Nothing came right now. Thank you.
Hello, you can say hello. Nice to see you. How are
Nice
you?
to see you all. Yeah. Thank you.
Ramaji, whenever you are here on camera, make a rule, please. You must share something.
Okay.
It's
So I share good wishes and happiness to everybody. Thank you.
That is by default, is there something?
Okay, so yeah, go ahead. I will see whether I can get something. Yeah, please get started.
You will get it. Just think you will get it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have some Tirukural and then we will have Mr. Kunan's शायरी. आपसे ज्यादा आपकी शायरी को हम मिस करते हैं. देखिए.
Adabas.
Yes, Vitri.
Yes, sir. I go with one Tirukural. It says, Inna Chinnan Illur Valdal Adaninu Inna Chiniyar Perivur. Meaning is, painful is it to live in a friendless town, but far more pain is it in part from one's lover. Meaning, even you can live with pain in the body, but you cannot live in a city without a friend.
Yeah. So when you become indifferent, there is no chance of having any friend. You will even lose the friends you got. And then you will say, I'm all alone in this world. Dunya mein akela hu main. All right, thank you very much. And Kunan's.
जनाब अर्ज किया है कि कश्ती भी नहीं बदली, दरिया भी नहीं बदला. कश्ती भी नहीं बदली, दरिया भी नहीं बदला और डूबने वालों का जज्बा भी नहीं बदला. कश्ती भी नहीं बदली, दरिया भी नहीं बदला और डूबने वालों का जज्बा भी नहीं बदला. है शौक़े सफर ऐसा एक अरसे से यारों, है शौक़े सफर ऐसा एक अरसे से यारों, मंजिल भी नहीं पाई पर रास्ता भी नहीं बदला.
वाह 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 वाह, it's amazing.
मंजिल भी नहीं पाई और रास्ता भी नहीं बदला. चलते चले जा रहे हैं, चलते जा रहे हैं. Never give up. No.
Never changed. The river never changed, right? And the attitude of the people who sank also never changed. But my journey continued. Yes, Venkatesh. Please go ahead. You'll have to unmute first. Venkatesh.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
From tomorrow, there is a International Film Festival of India at Goa, Panji. And for the first time, I am attending that. I am going there as delegate for 7 days of film festival. One of my film which I have appeared in 2 minutes appearance, it is the opening inaugural film in that one. Means we have a function on Monday, and I am going in particular to attend that one. I'm a part of the production team. So that movie called Kannada movie called Hadine Lento, which was screened at Busan, Korea recently. I was not able to go to Korea, but now I have decided, got problems, but tomorrow I am maybe when the session is getting conducted, I will be on train to Goa. I will, if the network is good, I will definitely switch on. That's usual. And I will be there in Goa for almost 6-7 days. We have 2 films there, one a short film and one regular film. One we had produced, we have made one film 32 minutes. So that's I wanted to share. And about this, just now said singing. Singing has a certain thing like immediately your memory works. Like when Lako Hai Yahan Dil Wale somebody sang,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
immediately
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
that Lako Hai Yahan Dil Wale was sung in was the song in Kismat. Kismat, when Biswajit had acted, it was not a hit film, but it had another big, very famous song sung by two, this thing like, I just remembered, but I forgot. That was Kajra Mohabbat Wala. No. I say, so when you connect with some songs or anything, your memory, all cells work, and you have this. So keep listening to song, and immediately if you say Kisi Ki Muskurahat, you remember Anadi. Like that, it happens, and till you are really healthy, you can recollect very immediately in instant. That I wanted to say, it's a good habit to listen to songs and recollect. Thank you.
Thank you, and wonderful. So you wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human beings. Let's all get the name of the movie from our friend and see. At least you can send us a clip, so we'll watch you in action in the movie. Wow. So have a great day. Enjoy. God bless you. See you tomorrow morning. Don't forget to do the exercise once in every hour. See you tomorrow morning. Bye.